Peter makes a deal, and Mary Jane and Peter Parker make a deal with the devil, with Satan, who says, I will save your 112 Aunt May, who is literally on death's door every time she wakes up in the morning, every time she waddles out to the bathroom and waddles in the kitchen to make you hot cakes. But I will save her if you give me your marriage. And there's literally a panel where he goes, your marriage. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But now, my friends, I figure we can go ahead and we can get into tonight's questions for Class in a Glass cast. Now, I'm going to read these in the order of which I have received them, chat. That is only fair. Got two sets of questions, one from Vanna Spheres and another set of questions from Derek Floyd. Also goes by Dericles in the chat. Dericles, make yourself known. Please do so. Got some superhero comic book questions and Game Awards questions, but we'll go ahead and we'll start with Vanny since he was the one that submitted them first. CDR Spa, great salutations. Hope you're living long and prospering, good sir. Welcome to the stream. We're also just going to be talking about, the Game Awards for this particular year. I guess I'll share my opinions on them, Chad, in just a bit. But let's go ahead and we'll start with Vanny's question. And Trailblazers, welcome back. I hope you're doing very well. Just run back over from a friend's. Nice. Well, I hope you stay warm, stay safe. Pleasure to have you here. Good. Very nice. But yes, Chad, let's go ahead and start with Vanny's first question for this evening, for this stream. Hey, Revan, for this week's questions, let's do something a little different and talk about the Game Awards. Award show question. The Game Awards joins the likes of the Academy Awards, the Emmys, and the MTV Movie Awards, events that mostly exist for industry folks to get together to celebrate themselves. What are your thoughts on award shows in general? Is there an award show whose results you respect? I've kind of made it very clear how I feel about a lot of award shows. Let me go over in a little more detail. I like the idea of honoring the best in an industry and recognizing hard work. I feel like we all do. There's no doubt about that. Also, the underappreciated people who, they're not always seen by mainstream audiences, right? It gives everyone attention to check out one's work. And I feel like that's what the best of award shows do, is they allow that, right? I'm kind of sometimes confused as to how things get nominated. I think the nomination process for a lot of these different events, whether the Oscars, the Golden Globes, the Game Awards, they always seem kind of flawed. They always seem inherently flawed. I don't think there's a perfect way to do it. I wish there was, but there never seems to be. The things I dislike about Game Awards, or excuse me, not just Game Awards, but just award shows and ceremonies and that kind of thing, recognizing different media. I despise the pageantry of the shows. A lot of the times they focus on the wrong things, like the skits, the monotonous or just tone-deaf monologues from some of these hosts or some of these guest presenters, chat. I mean, you can, throughout the history of award shows, you can point to some just cringy moments, Chad, ones that just stop everything in its tracks. It's just like, please move on. Why are you doing this? It's just not necessary. I guess, for myself, and again, I guess it's all subjective what we want. When it comes to movies or TV shows, I want them to talk about, the shows themselves, what it meant to the people making it, playing, or for video games, in the case of video games, let's just talk about video games, in this case, because movies and everything else, it's a whole other subject, of course. But, what it meant to people making the video game, playing the video game, the writing of it, the directing it, the acting in it, all of those. That's what I kind of want to see. I want to see that earnestness. And sometimes that's there, but sometimes it's filled with all this unnecessary stuff that is just the pageantry. It's just the obnoxiousness of people within the industry. And I just that's the stuff I just wish we can just, get a scalpel and cut that out. There's other ways to entertain people. There absolutely are. and still paying respect and honor to these things. Uh, like with the Game Awards, we'll get more into it. Like they have the whole thing where they present an award. Sometimes they present an award, chat. It feels like for every Game Award show that we get, it's less about the actual awards and more about the trailers and gameplay sections and gameplay segments. But there could be ways to do that, or show like a sequence in the game. Like you're nominated for Game of the Year, show a sequence, show gameplay, something like that. You're nominating performance, show a bit of the performance, show like a captivating scene of that actor or that actress, showcasing their talent and skill. Like that's what I would like to do. And then in between each award, and we'll get into it just a bit, having the trailers and first looks and stuff like that. Like you could do that, and you can balance everything out while at the same time paying respect to all these people, working in the industry and the hard work, the incredible hard work that they do. But I feel like with the Game Awards, they've been kind of infected with the sensibilities that a lot of award shows have, which is that unnecessary, obnoxious pageantry, these hosts that sometimes don't know what they're doing, a lot of times don't know what they're doing. There's been some good hosts in the past, there's no doubt about that. For various shows, but in the skits, I just, no more skits. I just like fucking stop it. I just don't want any more skits. Cut all that shit out. It never works. I mean, yeah, you'll have some exceptions, of course, but I would say most of the time, I would say 95% of the skits that they do for all these shows, it's just like, this is painful to watch. Just don't do it. Don't bother doing it. If it takes so long to fucking tell a joke, then it's like you probably shouldn't tell it. If it goes along, keep it fucking short, keep it snappy, boop, 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 move on to the next thing. That's what they need to do. Jim Carrey needs to come back for a Sonic skit. I did not. That was a moment I didn't like. I was like, what the fuck is going? You know what? We'll talk about the Game Awards. It's funny because I thought that was like at the time, that was the weirdest moment in the show. Because even Ben Schwartz, who's the voice of Sonic, he was like, he was talking, and actually, he was actually good, because he was talking about, like, the movie and how people hated the ugly Sonic design, and he was good, and he felt humble, he felt earnest, he was moving at a nice pace, and I thought Ben Schwartz was doing a pretty good job when he was up there, chap. But then he's like, but, obviously, a big part of the movie, big reason why it was successful was because of Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik and Eggman. And even though he couldn't be here because he didn't want to be, we have him, he has a little video for us. So let's go ahead and watch him. And we get this whole thing where it felt like Jim Carrey I was like, I'm going to test out some material I've never done before. And he did the whole, don't grate it in the grinder. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? And I was like, what? So confused. It was so weird, so awkward. Jim Carrey's a talented guy, but, he's gotten a little weird and a little more introspective, later in his life. And I can understand why, because of what he was doing. But it felt like he was just like, fuck it. I don't give a shit about the Game Awards. I'm going to say whatever comes to mind, or I'm going to test something out. It felt like he was working out material. Now, one of the worst parts of the Game Awards that year was Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi in Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, where he came up there looking at some, like, I'm watching my phone, I'm watching some Halo footage, like, oh shit, this looks really cool, I'm not really caring about what you guys are doing out here, I'm watching some Halo. I'm like, that stuff, that irks me so much. I hate that kind of, because it's fake, it's obviously fake, it's try hard. I get it, you're the Microsoft Halo ambassador, and I'm like, I don't give a like, that shit never works. It's this overly long skit where you're just relying on yourself, and I'm like, nope, don't do this. Stop it. Just stop it. And stuff like that just really annoys me. It's like, you could have cut all that out, and the show, and it would have been better. It would have been fucking better. I mean, if anything, these things go viral and people talk about them. I guess that promotes the show, but it promotes how awkward it is, how weird it is, how cringy it is. But to me, it's just like, that's just not fucking necessary. Get rid of all that shit, So that stuff's got to go. That stuff just absolutely needs to go. I mean, is there an award show whose results I respect? I mean, it depends. It's like, it's all subjective. We all have our favorites for whatever show. We feel like this movie should win. We feel like this game should win. This director, this actor, writer, etc. We all feel differently. I mean, when the things that I like win, I'm like, yeah, it should, because it is good. Or like the year. Listen, even though I've talked a lot of shit about the Oscars and it's deserved, the year that Parasite won in 2019, which 2019 was an historic year in film. That was one of the best years in film in my lifetime. That year was incredible. I could have made a top 20 list of films that I would give the double toasted score of high full price or better than sex. It was that good of a year, chat. Just countless good. Parasite, Avengers Endgame, Toy Story 4, Doctor Sleep, Uncut Gems, The Lighthouse. It was just boo, boo, boo. 1917, But with Parasite, like this movie, which you would think it's a foreign film, it's from South Korea. It has these messages that might ruffle a few feathers. Wouldn't probably do very well in a Western market, but it bucked the trend, and it did, and it did so well there. And to see that it got recognized and was so popular, that was really great to see. So in that case, it's like, yeah, I love it when something like that. It's like that, yes, that, and in a year that you could have given it to a lot of movies, but that was my favorite film of the year, and I was so happy that it won. So there's always exceptions. There's always, it's subjective, of course. But like that, in that case, that was like, yes, absolutely, that deserved it. I could think of plenty of examples of films and games that, there's so many, that I felt like didn't deserve it, a performance that I felt like was kind of overrated. I was like, come on, give me a break. But, to be positive, like that one, I was like, that one was, that was exceptional. I'm glad it was recognized. Parasite is so good. Check it out. Firewolf, good to have you here. Firewolf, welcome to stream. Hard hands. I hope you're doing very well. Pleasure to have you here. Jim Carrey, he was trolling. He was absolutely trolling. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, Parasite is a recommendation. Parasite, it's so good. Parasite also gave us the best shit review ever. Oh, shit. Really? Chris Downey, check out Parasite. It's great. It's great. He made his Oscars kiss. He did. He went. He did. It's like action figures. Yeah. Was it Bong Joon-ho? Bong Joon-ho won. I hope Everything Everywhere All at Once wins. I'm very curious to see what's going to win. This has been a pretty good year for movies. This has been good. In comparison to the last 2 years, which again is not really fair because of the pandemic, but it's been much better, chat. Yeah, I'm going to be putting my top 10 together. I've been slowly putting the films I really liked, my list overall. I like these movies. And I'll be revealing more of that as we get closer to January, when I'll be doing like my best of and worst of the year for movies, TV shows, video games, that kind of thing. Chris Ayers, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing well. Oscar Grammy film Buzz Baby. Was that nominated? I didn't know that. If you've never seen it, it's hilarious. Some dude ranting about what Parasite won, even though it was a foreign film over the Joker. Oh shit. Like they were saying that the Joker should have won. Oh really? Was that like an infamous internet trending thing or whatever? Like some guy was freaking out. Interesting. I never saw that. My Joker is such. Oh, okay, gotcha. I actually like Joker, but I feel like Parasite's much better. But to each their own. That's funny. People freaking out. Love that Joker. Smilax, indeed. But yeah. Yeah, award shows in general, I feel like they have the potential to be great, but it's the fucking pageantry. It's the pageantry and the obnoxiousness of that pageantry that drags them down. And the results, it's all subjective, the results. If the things that I like win, then I'm like, hell yeah. The things I don't particularly like win or think are kind of like overrated or not necessarily that good, then I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. Yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, they had the potential. Just trim that fucking fat out of there. Get rid of the skits. I think a good thing to do is to get rid of the fucking skits. That's what, absolutely no question about that. Get rid of that bullshit, and I think you'll be in a much better place. Kayla McGee, rich people yanking each other off. Yeah, just jerking. No doubt about it. And there's a lot of that too. And it's a little obnoxious. Patting themselves in the back and all that. Yeah. Oh Lord, I don't need to see Amy Schumer again. That Oscar, was that the Oscars? Did they host it last year? That was pretty fucking rough. It was who was it? It was Amy Schumer. I think it was Wanda Sykes. And who was the other one? Maya Rudolph. There was a segment where Amy Schumer was doing just some regular stand-up, and I thought that was pretty good. But then they started doing a whole bunch of other shit that just did not work. Did the oh god, what was it? The whole thing with Kirsten Dunst. I was like, oh, this is not working. That really shitty thing about Ridley Scott's movie. Was it Regina Hall? Was it Regina Hall? Oh man, I don't fucking remember at all. So it wasn't Maya Rudolph. Okay. I don't remember. There you go. That says anything. Regina Hall was doing the Oscars? Wow, I don't remember her at all. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, she was drunk. Celebs do get out. Yo, yeah, the randomized dual dig pissed me off. I mean, it was pretty shitty to that's like punching down in a movie, especially because it was allegedly pretty good. I haven't seen it myself, but no one saw it. But yeah, that was pretty shitty. That was pretty shitty to say. That felt unnecessary in my opinion. That didn't feel like the right place to say that. Because apparently it's a pretty good movie. I want to check it out one day. I want to check it out. But yeah, chat. It's how I feel. Get rid of a lot of that pageantry. Get rid of a lot of that skit bullshit. Just have a host. Like you can have a host that's. I'll be talking about a host in just a second because Vanny asked about hosts and who I think will be a good host for the Game Awards in just a bit. But we'll get to that in time. Game of the Year nominees. There are some titles that absolutely make sense to be on there, like God of War, Ragnarok, and Elden Ring. But there are also some surprise appearances, like Stray and Xenoblade Chronicles, that just kind of seem to be there to lose. If you were to select the nominees for the Game of the Year, what would you choose and why? It's funny. Even though I've played like a lot of games this year, I haven't played like a lot of new games. I mean, I guess I had to think about it. Like, I guess I have. Because they have a... This is a good question. Because let's look at the nominees for Game of the Year. 6. Has 6 always been the standard? Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, if 6 is the standard. But the 6 nominees for Game of the Year are Plague Tale Requiem, which I want to play. I want to play the first one I played. I want to play this one too. There's a lot of people that champion this series, and I want to give it a chance. But the Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, which I've played, God of War Ragnarok, which I'm playing right now, but I would also nominate, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, which I've also played, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I've not played. I've not played that. So I've played 4 of the 6 nominees, chat, right here. To be honest, I talked about this. I talked about this before. Elden Ring, absolutely nominated. No doubt about it. One of my favorite games this year. I thought it was great. It was a cultural phenomenon, chat. Did a lot of things very, very well. Very, very well. A lot of variety with the gameplay. Love the sense of exploration, chat. Beautiful score. I love the variety when it comes to the combat. I mean, there's so much you can praise it for. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. God of War Ragnarok, which I'm playing right now. I mean, I want to be fair. I want to complete it before I put it on the list. But I probably would put it on the list right now. Just like God of War 2018, great gameplay, beautiful world. So far, a really good story. I'm loving the characters, loving the new characters, chat. The acting is superb. The running is superb. It's, they're doing everything right. Stray, I really like Stray. Stray is one of those indie titles that had a big pop in the pop culture zeitgeist, chat. It was cute. It played well. It did something really different. I was a kitty cat. It made you a kitty cat in this dystopian world with robots, and it had all these themes about, fascism and control and what is alive and what's not alive. And I really like that about Stray. So I would personally, it's a cool kitty cat, Cristiano. It's like Cristiano. It's a cool kitty cat game. So I actually would nominate. I really enjoyed that. The one that I've also played that, personally, Chad, and this is, I'm surprised that I would say this. I thought I would never say this a year ago. But the one I would nominate, and I'm sad to say it, is Horizon Forbidden West. And, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. That was one of my favorite games of the previous decade, of the 2010s. That was great. It was like my top 10. But with this new game, even though I think it's beautiful and I love the Aloy character and I really like aspects of the gameplay, I felt like the story was monotonous, boring, nonsensical. There's so much exposition, so many terms they throw at you, and I just felt like, what is going on? I felt like they weren't focusing on the things that were necessary to make me compelled to be invested in this world. Like, I wish they focused more on the characters, Aloy's relationships. Like, that's there, but it's not the main focus. That is almost secondary, probably even tertiary. Talking about Gaia and space operas telling me to do all this. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I also thought, even though it's very similar to how the upgrading was in the original Horizon, I don't know, the progression felt more difficult in this game. How I would I need these arrow types and I got to blast about these animals. And something that just felt unnecessarily more difficult than usual. And I don't know and I love the idea of hunting, like I do in Far Cry, hunting animals, getting all this stuff and upgrading myself. But they made it, I don't know, more monotonous, more grindy. And I feel like when you have this grind and this story that is confusing and seemingly not going anywhere, I got bored. I got bored and I didn't really care anymore. And so, man, I'm so sad to say, but I would not nominate Horizon Forbidden West. It's one of my big disappointments this year, personally, chat. So I couldn't have it here. I think maybe at the time I had it where it was like, oh, it's one of my favorite games of the year. But I have to be honest with myself. It's not. It's simply not. And so I would strike that from the list. And I can't speak on A Plague Tale Requiem, and I can't speak on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I know Plague Tale has its fans, and they're really passionate, and they really like the story in the first one. Clearly, they like this new one. It's doing something a little different, and I want to give it a chance. I want to play it one day. And Xenoblade Chronicles, I mean, it's a series of bits. I think there's like, well, I guess even though it's the third one, there's like 4 entries in the series. But, it's popular JRPG. So, one day I want to check that out. Check out those games. I think the first one came out on like the Wii, I want to say. I remember that. But to go back to your question, Alex Bernal, YouTube extraordinary Alex Bernal, good to have you here. Welcome to the stream. And what happened? Howdy to you. How do you, partner? Hope you're doing well as well. But to go back to your main question of if you were to select the nominees for Game of the Year, what would you choose and why? I don't know if I could do the full 6 right now. I think Elden Ring obviously would be up there. There's no doubt. I feel like I played through that game 1.5 times. I want to eventually go back to that other playthrough I was doing, where I was doing my faith strength build for DT. But Elden Ring, no doubt. God of War, even though I'm probably only about maybe a quarter way through it, maybe a quarter. I don't know. God of War Ragnarok be nominated. I would nominate Stray. The other 2 that I feel confident nominating, chat, would be The Mortuary Assistant, which is this indie game where you are indeed an assistant working at a mortuary where you're embalming these bodies and doing autopsies, but you're also being haunted over the course of several nights. And in order to dispel these demons, in order to banish these demons back to hell, you have to do this investigation while you're performing this embalming on this body and everything else. And while you're being haunted by these procedurally generated demons that are coming in randomly. And I thought, and this was suggested by Viper Fox, and who of course also streams chat. Please do check out her channel. And it was a fantastic suggestion. I love that game. That was one of the big ones I played for Halloween. It just came out, I think, in August of this year, I want to say. I highly recommend that one. That one was so good. I would nominate that. It gave me a wonderful experience. Shannon was a AA experience. But it was a great one. And then the other one I would nominate is Madison. Where Madison, I feel like maybe some of the puzzles were a little obtuse at times. Like the scares, the atmosphere were so good. That last section with Mr. Blue Knees was horrifying. I love that. That was so good. They ended very strong, chat. Madison, I would also nominate. Called the Lamb. A lot of people are recommending Cult and Lamb. A number of people are playing it right now on streams that we know. I want to play that very, very soon. I might play Cult and Lamb after God of War Ragnarok, chat. Because I'm really interested. But, which is this, I think the whole concept is like this kind of cutesy looking game. It's also a bit of a dungeon crawler, bit of a roguelite, I suppose. But you're also creating a cult. And you have to take care of your cultists, and I guess you gain power over time and upgrades and all that thing. I got to get into the minutiae of the game to really, truly understand it. But it always seemed really cool. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. I like the aesthetic of it. But yeah, for myself right now, chat, Elden Ring for the variety of reasons I provided. God of War Ragnarok for the variety of reasons I provided. Stray, because I thought it was a unique experience. I liked it was doing. Just playing a cat. I mean, yes, there have been video games where you played a cat, but not in the way that this game makes us play a cat. And I just really liked the world, and it was scary but wholesome, and it made us, go like, okay, what is truly life? And how does life evolve past humanity? I thought that was really cool. And great aesthetic too. Really cool aesthetic. And the Mortuary Assistant, the Madison, gave me some of the best scares, this year, chat. I thought those were both great. And I felt like I could embalm a body, chat. I feel like I could work at a mortuary or a funeral home. So yeah, those would be my 5 nominees. Like, I played some other games. I played Trek to Yomi this year, which was a really cool 2D, 2.5D side scroller where it takes place in feudal Japan, and you're the samurai that is literally, going through hell and all these fantasy lands to get back to your village, which you've been protecting. There's different paths you can take and everything. And it has this black and white Akira Kurosawa vibe to it, and aesthetic, and it's really good. It has, but the problem is, the reason why I probably wouldn't, even though I like the game, it'll probably be my top 10 this year, but I don't feel comfortable nominating Game of the Year because it has a lot of technical issues. It had a lot of technical issues, chats, load times, a lot of texture popping. And I was like, they just patched this. They just did some updates. It would be good. But it had some issues. It had some issues. But I think it's a good game. I think it's a good game that you should check out. It was very different, and I liked it for that. But I don't think I would nominate it for Game of the Year. I don't feel like I would nominate for Game of the Year, John. But what about you guys? Is there like any other games that you played in 2022, specifically that came out in 2022, that you would nominate? For right now, I would feel comfortable nominating the list here. Obviously I want to complete God of War Ragnarok, before they do the awards, of course. But I feel like that's a safe choice. You feed their cubs their own poop? Yes, cat! I can feed them poop. Excellent. They're going to be poop eaters. Going to be the dun eaters. Oh, what was it? The loathsome dun eater. Rise Rover nomination. Nice. Young Souls, another game. And I heard that people were talking about that earlier. I remember you guys mentioning that. Which made you sad for Derpy Little Robot. It made me say, yeah, little poor Derpy Robot. I felt really bad. That thing died. And he was subhuman, but then he put his conscience in the robot. Oh, it was great. It was good. It's a good game, Jay. I recommend it. You should not be. I can do it. I think I can do it. I'll probably replace Xenoblade with Tinykin because it's a cute little Pikmin clone. Oh. Clown would put on the list, said Windfox. Yellow weapon types were ridiculous. I feel like I never got a good weapon. Just had to make do. Movement and fighting was still so janky. I agree. Didn't deserve the nomination. For Horizon, you're talking about, Zeus? Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the few Nintendo exclusive RPGs. It's that, and Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that's true. Because it's only on the Switch, right? Is it only a Switch? Is it not on the PC? I played some of Plague Tale Innocence. It was pretty awesome. I want to check it out. I want to play it. I do want to play the series. No one cares about Xenoblade Chronicles. Oh, that was the one. Yeah, no, X. You told me about that. Right. Yes. But yeah, I would absolutely nominate Mortuary. Mortuary System was great. That was such a fun streaming experience. It was just a good game. The scares, I'm just like, fuck, what's going to happen here? I really loved it. I played that game, what, did 6 or 7 playthroughs of it to get all the endings? I think it was like 6 or 7. Yes, I would have played Xenoblade Chronicles with Call of the Lambs as Vanny. With Vanny has played. Just bought God of War tonight. Says Glee, I loved Horizon, so we'll see. So you really enjoyed Horizon. So I mean, the people that really liked it. I'll eventually go back to it, but I gotta be honest. How I felt. I only played Elden Ring, Stray, and Team of Two Treasures. A lot of people would probably put Shredder's Revenge. A lot of people love that game. I'm not a big beat-em-up fan, though. I have over Elden. I still have not played God of War. Horizon 2, yes, Zeus. Gotcha. Cyberpunk come out this year. I'm out. Cyberpunk came out, was that 2021 or 2020? I don't remember. It definitely came out. It definitely did not come out. It was 2020, yeah, so there you go. 2020. Thank you. You played Elden Ring too many damn times. I played it like 1.5 times. I didn't even finish the DT playthrough. But it's a good game, man. It's a good game. One day I will go back to it. I'm going to do a complete new type of character. I'll just respec my character. It'll be fun. Yes. Fluber Schmeckledorf. What was it? The second shall return. Elden Juice, indeed. If you're a fan of Hello Boss, a lot of those demonic names you may also know. Show up a couple. Oh, good. I love Hello Boss. Love that show. One of my favorite animated shows this year. I think they'll use the Ars Gotia. Oh, the Gotia. Oh, yeah. Very cool. Nice. Very nice. That's what I keep hearing. No, I know, because Caitlin, did you buy Cyberpunk? I know you're talking about buying it. I think if it's half, it's 50% off. I think it's worth buying. When I played it, that's when it was just kind of a mess. But I still enjoyed my time with it. It was still fun. The thing about Cyberpunk 2077 is that CD Projekt Red lied about many aspects of that game. And it was also pitching at, this is the future of RPGs. This goes beyond any RPG you played. And that just wasn't true. It was Fallout with a Cyberpunk skin. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, they sold it in a different way, in a manipulative way. But I feel like now it'd be well worth playing. And I'm sure they've updated and patched it and to the point where it was how it should have been launched. So, Pan Am was not my friend. She was my girlfriend, and she loved me. Oh, Saving Private Harry Potter. That's right. That's coming out. Oh, yeah. That's coming out. God. February? Coming out February or March or something like that. Yes, and we still got... Another thing is, too, Chad, we still have Callisto Protocol this year. We still got Callisto Protocol, which the Game Awards couldn't nominate because of their weird nomination schedule. But we still got Callisto Protocol coming out. That's true. Dead Space coming out in January. That's right. Yeah, good point. Good point. I like most people watch the Game Awards for the reveals, I imagine. Yeah. 4K, Chris, have you played the Cuphead? I've not. I did not play that one. Ars Grisha is a famous old grimoire that details Lucifer and all his followers. And it's been part of the main inspiration behind Hello Boss. There you go. Very cool. You bought the... Oh, you did buy the game. Well, there you go. Nice. Excuse me, safe. So yes, Cyberpunk is fine now. I played through it again the other week. Well, there you go. Nice. I feel like Callisto Protocol is going to be the guy. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very, very excited for it, Jay. You guys know I'm a huge Dead Space fan. This is the spiritual successor to Dead Space. So who knows? It might be... I'll probably... I mean, you know, if it's great, then I'll probably add it to my list. That might be my 6th game that I would add, chat. We'll see. But I still want to play Cult of the Lamb. I still want to play a number of other titles. So I'm going to play the Pokemans. Oh, I doubt that will be Game of the Year. But still, I want to check it out. And now we're moving on to the categories. Some of the categories, like innovation for accessibility, are great since more games need to provide options to help every gamer enjoy titles. Others, like Best Esports Team, just sort of exist. Not to say they don't deserve an award, but it kind of feels like they're attacking to fill in the runtime. Like, if there was an award show just for esports, fine. I won't watch it, but fine. What other categories would you want on the show? I think individual performance categories is absolutely necessary. Because they do have a category for best performance in a video game, and I feel like for this year they have was it 5? I guess 6 nominees. Let me see. What we have: best narrative, best score, best design, best performance. So they have 5 nominees. How do they nominate this? 5, 6? Some of these have. We need like the numbered categories. They're all over the place, like the Oscars. Why is it only like 5 or 6 or 4 or 2? Whatever. Anyway. So for best performance this year, award to an individual for voice acting, motion, and or performance capture. They have Ashley Birch for Horizon Forbidden West. They have Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale Requiem. I guess she plays the main character in that game. Christopher Judge for God of War Ragnarok. Main Engage for Immortality. And Sonny Suljic for God of War Ragnarok. He plays Atreus / Loki. Like I think it would be cool if they kind of did this like the Oscars, where they had, because there's so many performances. There's so many voice actors and voice actresses and mocap performers, you know, who do great work in these games, and yet maybe they might not be the lead character, but they do such a great job. Like, I honestly feel like they should have 4 acting categories, chat, for the Game Awards. I feel like they should be Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress. I feel like they should absolutely have that. You know, so I mean, this might be something I would do. Like, maybe I'll create a video. Like, these are my favorite performances. This might be a separate video. Not for right now. These are my nominees for Best Actor in a video game, Best Actress in a video game. Like, playing through God of War Ragnarok right now, I'm fucking loving. Oh God, let me look up the cast. Let me look up so I get all the names right here. God of War Ragnarok cast. Like, there are so many people in this game that are doing a fantastic job, chat. Like, Richard Schiff as Odin is amazing. You understand? You understand how good he is? It's like, can we just have peace? You over here, me over here, no questions, it'll be fine. Let me do what I do, you do what you do, just don't kill each other, it'll be great. Like, I love his Odin. Like, I think he deserves, like, a nomination for, like, Best Supporting Actor in a video game so far. He's great. Or you know, you also have, oh God, you have Ryan Hurst. You have Ryan Hurst as Thor. Dad bod Thor, chat. He's great in the game. Like, give him a Best Supporting Actor nomination. Why not? You know, or, oh my God, like last night I got to this section of God of War where you're playing as Atreus, and I met Angra Boda. And you have Leia DeLeon Hayes, and she's great. The chemistry between her and Sonny, between her and Atreus, is amazing. Nominate her for Best Supporting Actress. Like, that's what I would do. Like, you should have these acting categories, because there's more than just 5 performances this year in video games that are deserving of recognition and attention. Like, these are, to me, like, these performances in this game in Ragnarok alone, it's like, this is like Academy Award level. This is so goddamn good. Of course, Christopher Judge deserves to be nominated for Best Actor. Of course, Sonny Solchick deserves to be nominated for Best Actor. They absolutely deserve it. But there are these supporting performances that are just as good that deserve to be recognized. And that's what I would do. I'm gonna do that this year. I'm gonna do my best actor, actress, supporting actor, and supporting actress nominees for just performances for video games this year. That's what I do. Seem like a calm and reasonable person. So good. The Tony Soprano, the North guy. That's what Odin is. Oh my God, he's awesome. Kaz Faye, you gotta go to sleep. No problem, Kaz Faye. Get your rest. Get your sleep. No problem at all. You understand? So yeah, and personally, it was a great discussion. The Batman Kevin Conroy discussion was awesome. So there's so many that we'd nominate. So that is an app that, number one, I would have those 4 categories added: Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress in a video game. That's what I would do, chat. And I don't think that's controversial because there's so many great performances. Now, question about the show itself. While celebrating achievement in game design development is very much warranted, the show itself feels like a trailer presentation that cuts to an award show, 100%, when there would normally be a commercial break. It kind of takes away the impact of folks winning awards when more time is given to a trailer. This is the developers thanking folks. You're right. Same goes for the musical performances. There have been years when the musicians were cut off mid-song to move on to something else, which is fucking bananas. Oh, yeah, it's true. What do you think is the ratio should be this year between awards and trailers? I mean, the ratio, that's a good question. I feel like what they've been doing, I just noticed this. I don't know if this is how it's been, but they'll literally just present a bunch of, not even present a bunch of awards. They'll just have a few they'll say, all right, here are the nominees. This is the winner. All right, moving on. Here are the nominees. All right, they're the winner. Like, they would just do it that way, and then they just move on. Like, they don't get that. People don't come up on stage. They're not giving a speech, thanking everybody. Like, no. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, the people who are not going to be speaking at the Game Awards, like, for example, Best Community Support. Let's see what else we got here, Chad. Best debut indie. They're not gonna fucking do this. I feel like they're not gonna give them any time to speak or anything like that. Best esports game. They'll be like, all right, whatever. Just move on. Like, I would have them come up there and listen. You're gonna have a specific amount of time to speak, so you better speak. Certain people are gonna get longer because of the importance of the not even the importance of it, but just, I mean, you could say the spectacle, of the specific award, But you're right. It does feel like a show that's more about trailers and, first looks and stuff like that. I would just have them present the awards. You have the specific amount of time to speak. All right, get moving. And then you're going to do a bunch of trailers after that. I mean, I feel like maybe 3 or 4 trailers in between each award would be good. 3 or 4 trailers, and then we move on to the next award and do that, present it, then 3 or 4 trailers and do that. That's how it works. Instead of what they usually do is they'll have maybe like they'll actually present like at most 8 awards during the night, and then they'll run off like all the other winners, and then in between that they'll have maybe 10 or 12 trailers. So maybe try something like that. We interrupt these commercials to bring you this award, pretty much. Yeah, that's what it usually is. And so I would do it that way, but it might not work out. And people might get mad at that. Or just, cut down. I mean, there's some trailers that they show that's like, this is not. Now, I get it. They're doing that because they need the money. And that's what's paying for this fucking show, are those trailers, being able to show them. Those companies said, we're paying you so we can show our shit on this show. That's exactly what it's doing. That's why those get precedence. Otherwise, the show wouldn't exist. There's no doubt about that. The trailer was great. Oh, and Hades won some shit. BT dubs, yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what they're going to keep doing. Now we get to this next question, which I feel like we can change some stuff here. And I like this. The hosting, how these things are hosted, chat. An award show can sink or swim because of a host. Since this is Jeff Keighley's brainchild, it's no surprise that he's the primary host alongside former IGN producer Sidney Goodman. They both do an absolutely acceptable job. That is exactly how, they do. I can specifically for Jeff Keighley. He does the bare minimum. He does just totally just, Average at best, never gonna increase in quality. Just here we go. He is that. That's how I would describe Jeff Keighley. He's acceptable. He's acceptable. But I feel like they would benefit from either letting Sydney host. Personal content is really fun, and she's super weird, which would be great to watch, or get new hosts. Milquetoast. He is the milkiest of toast, Chad. The milkiest of white bread toast. Who do we want to host these things? The Muppets. Get the fucking Muppets to host. The Muppets have done sections. The Muppets have done Game Award. I don't know. They've given away awards at the Game Awards, and the Muppets would be the people to do it. Just fucking give it to them. All right. Disney doesn't give a shit about the Muppets. They're not using the Muppets for anything, Chad. They don't know what they're doing. So just give it to the Muppets. Okay? That's what I would do for everything. Every fucking show from now on, I would have the Golden Globes. I would have the Oscars. I would have the Emmys. They would just fucking, let's let the Muppets host it, because no one's doing anything with them anymore. So just do it. And they'll actually have, and the thing is, they actually have fucking performers who, like, you know, the whole structure, the whole idea of the Muppets was they're doing a live show. All right, they've had experience with that kind of shit for literal decades. The people who do all the puppetry, all right, and the voice acting, they have experience of that. They can do that kind of work on stage. Give it to them, all right? And people go like, they're puppets. Like, I don't give a shit. Who cares? They're entertaining. They're fun, you know, and they can be both respectful and really funny, and they won't kill the vibe of the show. All right, so the Muppets, and this is a distant second choice, Conan O'Brien. I feel like Conan O'Brien's segments of his, I forget what the show's, but the one where he does the video game segments, those are really funny. And he's very tongue-in-cheek. He goes back and forth of honoring games, but Clueless Gamer, thank you. Those are really good. He honoring games, but also making fun of video games. And I feel like he has a nice balance with all of that. He would be my second choice, but he's a distant second choice. The Muppets are the way to go. All right? They should have hosted the Oscars. You should never get anyone else to host the Oscars. The Muppets, like literally getting puppets to present an Academy Award for Best Picture is brilliant to me. Because they're a part of film. They're a part of cinema too. But they're the goofier aspects of it. So that's what I would do. Gonzo and Rizzo should host. Gonzo and Rizzo and Kermit and Miss Piggy and Animal video game, like, do all that. It'd be perfect. Have him play Rock Band. You're like, what the fuck is this? You just throw it away. There's so much you can do with that. Yes, how Miss Piggy was on MasterChef. Yeah, just fucking do it. Yeah, Jeff Keighley, his material, his immaterial. I'm Canadian. That's all he fucking does. It's like, I'm a Canadian. He's a good Canadian boy, and representing Canada, me, Jeff Keighley. It's like, shut up, Jeff. It's like, Jesus Christ. You have Electric Mayhem do like some of this. Can you imagine like Electric Mayhem doing covers of the music? There's so much fun you can have. So much fun you can have with that. The Muppets. The Muppets are cinema. Scorsese. I would fucking, some schmuck in your head said it. I would do it. I would say that too. I mean, like, the Muppets are cinema. It's big, and the winner is Christopher Judge. He proceeds to karate chop. Yes, yeah. Just gives him the award. There you go. Be perfect. Mordecai thinking of the Timmys. Hey, missed most of the stream because my computer didn't save a culture. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I've been there, man. I've been there. I'll see you tomorrow. I've been scrambling. Just listening to your Silk video. As sort of fan of her, I hope the show does her good. Me too. I know nothing about the character. I have nothing against her. Cliff notes for you. Yes, bitten by the same spider almost immediately on her ankle. Really? Got kidnapped and locked up in the bunker for years. Jesus. She's a guy webbing like Toby. Also had a big part in Spider-Verse. Also, her in wait. Is that the same character? Is Kimiko the same character? Wait, what? Really? Wait, also had a big part in wait, or is it Spider-Verse? A different Spider-Verse? Also, her and Peter can't be close together, or a pheromone makes them fuck. Okay. I did. All right. What the hell of a way to end that? Interesting. Interesting. Spider-Verse in the comics. Okay. So Tom Holland's not going to be in it, huh? Or are they just going to ignore that aspect of their relationship, of their powers, I suppose. I feel like if I was making the Silk Show, I'd be like, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna have that. I'm not gonna include that. Absolutely, I can't even watch Corey Bob for too long. Puppets creep me out. So Kayla McGee, not on the Muppet train. Not on the Muppet train. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. But for me, Chad, I would do the Muppets. Because when they were at the Game Awards, when they were at any award show, we all light up. We all get, oh, the Muppets. And every time they do something, it's at the very least funny. It's like the bare minimum. That was funny. That was it. You know, if they could just maintain, that was funny. That was pretty funny. Then we're good. And then just do it. All right? Disney's literally they don't know what to do with the Muppets anymore. Like all their shows are getting canceled. They canceled some other behind the scenes shows. They was going to do another talk show type thing. That's gone. The movies, you know, you're not doing anything with them. Just have them host shows. You keep the brand alive. That's what I would do. If I was, what's his name? Chapek, that asshole. If I was Bob Chapek, I'd go like, okay, they host all the shows now. That's what I would do. That's just me. Or Conan O'Brien. I think Conan O'Brien would be he's a distant second choice, but I think he can do it. But I want all the Muppets involved. I want all the Muppets involved. I think they can handle it very well. Oh, but just bring back the Muppet Show premise of Isn't That Hard? Steve Martin, Martin Short are still alive. I'll fucking bring them back for sure. I guess the Muppets would do sketches, but I feel like the Muppet sketches would be more consistently funny than with like humans. Based on just, you know, the history of a lot of award show sketches and skits. But, you know, we'll see. I would just, Muppets, please. Muppets. They had a Haunted Mansion Halloween special. It sucked, though. Damn, I didn't see that one. I didn't check that out. Every time they do the Muppets or have some cartoons on stage, there'll always be a shot of some old dude in the audience looking grumpy. Yeah, like Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. I know. I hope they do that. I think that'd be great. It'd be really funny. I feel like some of them would have they'd have a good attitude. Like, yeah, there'll be like a couple be like, what the fuck? But there'll be other people like, this is fun. I think they would really dig it. I think they really dig it. Rick and Morty host the Game Awards. Now, I like Rick and Morty, but, you know, there's definitely been a backlash towards them. I think they've been funny. I've really enjoyed, whatever. I think people go like, it's Rick and Morty, this sucks, just because it's Rick and Morty. But I like Rick and Morty, so that's just me. Lisa Hardhands, good to have you, Lisa. Welcome. Just bring back subbies for one-off sketches, but make probably Muppets bring back pigs in space. That'd be good. That'd be good. Very nice. Monica should be close to Peter. But for too long, they want to be together and mate. They've learned how to make it not super bad and work together, but when they meet, they couldn't help it. Jesus Christ. Why? That is such a weird thing. Why would you do that? Why would they write that to be a part of their characters? So did she have spider babies? Does she have spider babies? Is that what's going on? Oh my Lord. That is interesting. That is interesting. The Impact, chat. We have a final question. The Impact. Folks remember major award show moments, like when Marlon Brando brought Littlefeather to accept an Oscar on behalf. Apparently, she wasn't Native American. Found that out recently. Wow. Or at least allegedly not Native American. Some goes back and forth. In any case. Or the Kanye Taylor Swift thing. Oh, God. Kanye again. Kanye West. Continuing to prove, like it was long ago, he was already showcasing what an awful person, what a narcissistic person he was, what a fucking moron he was. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember that. I don't even give a shit about. Was that the Grammys? That was the Grammys. But you know, and it was like, well, they're rich or whatever. But it's like, listen, in that moment, that was like a very human moment for like Taylor Swift and get that award and things like that. And he comes up on there and just as MTV Movie Awards, just to do that, I was just like, what a fucking scumbag, what an asshole. You know, I don't know if that was, I never really gave a shit about Kanye West before, you know, maybe I didn't even know who he was, or I was aware of him, but I don't know if I listened to his music. But maybe it was the first time where I was just kind of confronted by him doing something. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that was so shitty. And listen, he's a horrible human being. He's an anti-Semite. He's a racist. He's a gaslighter. And I don't give a fuck that he's mentally ill. That's used as an excuse now. It's like, you can only use that to a certain degree. It's like, listen, at the end of the day, he's a bad person. He's a really bad person. The fact that you have all these fucking talking heads and listen, people are using him, like Hannah Zone's using him, but you have these people who are saying that he's a genius and that, oh, we should give him the benefit of the doubt, or that he's mentally ill, or these people are saying Kanye is right. He's trash. He's absolute fucking trash. Like, God, he's worthless. He's a waste. He's a waste of meat. He's a waste of bones and water and cellular tissue. It's just like, just every time I see him, just like, God, he's so fucking obnoxious. I don't like him. Fuck him. Anyway, back to the question. Do you have any standout moments from the previous Game Awards? Even though it was weird that Kiefer Sutherland replaced David Hayter as Snake. That whole thing was awkward, and that's Hideo Kojima he's odd. But I remember when Kiefer Sutherland kind of did this off-the-cuff speech about the video game industry was kind of first being exposed to it and playing this iconic character of, one of the snakes. He was Venomous Snake, but he wasn't really Big Boss. He was actually a character that Solid Snake kills. Any case, it doesn't matter. We're getting into the minutiae of Metal Gear Solid. Any case. He came up there and he just spoke really earnestly about the industry and his amazement with it and how he was privileged to play this iconic character, to be a part of this game, which was very popular. And it felt really wholesome. It didn't feel like he was like, video game, whatever, it's lesser than me. No, he felt really privileged and honored to be a part of it. I was like, you know what? I really like this. Even though his performance in that game, because for whatever reason, they just didn't have Venomous Snake talk. I guess there's a plot reason as to why. But he didn't really speak all that much in the game. But I liked that. I was like, that came across really well. The thing is, we're seeing like a lot of like big name actors, Chad, cross over from movies into video games because in a lot of cases, video games are being as well written, if not better written, than a lot of movies out there. I mean, look at something like God of War Ragnarok. Most recently, I mean, across the board, or some Mass Effect 2. You had Martin Sheen come in there, voice Luciman. Like, there's all these examples, and so yeah, that was nice. He was like really paying respect in the industry, and he wasn't dismissing it. Like, I feel like a lot of actors or creators in Hollywood or in the film industry would. He seemed to be very humble and respectful and impressed. I was like, that was really, really good. That was really good. The other one, kind of the opposite side, was Joseph Fares just going off on the industry. When his game A Way Out one was a great game. It came out in 2018, I want to say. Really good game. Same year as God of War, the 2018 one. He went off the industry and said, fuck the Oscars, and made Jeff Keighley like really uncomfortable. He's like, oh God, all my sponsor money was like drying up. But when Joseph Fares went out and just spoke that way, I thought that was pretty cool. That felt very real and cathartic. I thought that was great. Those two were huge. Those two were huge to me. On a positive note, watching the Killers and Sting, the Arcanes, those were great. Yes. No, and Imagination Reptiles. That was really cool too. I love that. Yes, Imagine Dragons, Chad. No, with that Jim funny moment when you talk about the entrapment. Oh, I forgot about them. Probably get Kevin Hart to host. Yeah, they probably get him to host. Young, quick. I'll never talk shit about someone that has more money. I mean, I'll talk shit as much as I want. He doesn't deserve it. That's what I'll say. But to each their own, of course. Kanye sucks. Yeah, he does. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never knew more about music than I did for them. But yes, yeah, it was Imagine Dragons. Okay, I thought so. It was like the Killers. I was like, were they there? I knew Imagine Dragons. They were good. I knew more of the music about more than someone else did. Yay me. Chris, do you get the vibe that Jeff Keighley wants to sleep with Kojima? the man dick slurps him so hard. Like whenever you introduce him, he always goes to speech. I feel like, well, I don't know. Hideo Kojima is like, he is one of those titans of the industry. There's no doubt about that. Even though I've heard some things from some people that have worked with him who have said some things where I'm like, okay, kind of confirming what I've always thought. But again, who knows? I mean, you hear about his relationship with Konami and how him and his team got screwed over and all that and how horrible an experience it was to work with the company. And then he comes back and, he forms his own company, Chad, and he does Death Stranding, which I think Death Stranding is a shitty game. But I can understand people going like, yeah, no, it was good for him, of course, So, Jeff Keighley, he definitely comes across as someone who is like, I am trying to make a living and make as much money out of this as possible. Yes, he does come across that way. And he's Canadian. But sure. Yeah. Oh, the orchestra. That's true. I like when the orchestra plays on the musical numbers in a lot of award shows are pretty good. Like the Oscars when they do that, except when you have like a guy out there mispronouncing the lead singer's name, or or you have mishaps and stuff. But no, yeah, every time they have the orchestra there and they're playing all the songs in the Game Awards, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. They're playing rich people that deserve every bad word, so 100%. And I will say those bad words. Only moment I remember from years of Games Award shows was that time the voice actors for Chris and Treyas had a little whole... I remember that. That was really cute. I remember that too. Like his best friends in Kojima. That's why he seemed close. Here you go. I have more respect for the people that make the music than anything. And when I see the Game Awards orchestra play that stuff, I'm highly impressed. Yeah, look, it sounds great. No, the presentation about it, everything about it. Great music. There's great music this year. Oh my God. Because that's one of the other... What's the nominee? Like, I remember you're coming to second, Mordecai, but there is a best, let's see here. There is a best score category, right? Isn't there? I feel like there is. Best. Is there not? No, there has to be a best score. Maybe I'm messing it. Hold on, sorry. Let me go back up. Game of the Year, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction. Oh, Best Score Music. So we have a Plague Tale Requiem, which I haven't heard it. Elden Ring, great score. God of War, Ragnarok, great score. Metal Hellsinger, I don't know what that is. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Again, I haven't heard all the music for all these games, but Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, I can speak on those. Incredible music. Incredible. I've been listening to the music, off stream chat. So good. I'm doing my little chores around the house, and I'm vacuuming, or I'm cleaning, or I'm doing dishes and stuff. Mordecai, to answer your question, no, they are no spider babies. Dad's not wanted drama. She's fine now, hanging with Peter in control. It just happened when they first met. They didn't know. Okay. Other than that, she's cool. And they don't make it an issue afterwards. Get her own solo books. That's good. It's just the whole ad. Why would you introduce something like that? I guess that's my whole thing. It's like, what's the point of that? I know you just want Spider-Man to fuck. I know there was a time where Peter was, that's related to something I'm going to bring up in a bit. In regards to retconning and what things I would fucking retcon in comic books. Here's a big thing. In deals of Spider-Man, you probably know, for those of you who've been reading Spider-Man for years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. Also, Sifu in Best Fighting Game made me laugh my ass off because it's not. Now, I didn't play Sifu. That's right. That came out this year. Yeah, I guess I didn't. I forgot. I think a lot of people really enjoyed that, but I didn't play it. Yeah, I guess is that the last question if any had? Yes, the last question. Yes, that is. So those are my typical moments. I'd really like to keep the subtle and praising the industry. That was really wholesome, especially from, big actor going there and go like, wow, this is really impressive. I had no idea, and I've been humbled, and I appreciate being a part of it. And I was like, that's really cool. I like that. And, Joseph Ferris is fucking going off on the industry and other award shows. So it was like kind of what we just did right now. I thought that was really cool. But we can kind of go over some of the other nominees, chat. Dad Chicken, and again, Isaac Stevenson, so good to have you here. Welcome. That's just a travesty. I feel bad if it was a developer and won that because they'll receive a lot of hate. Really? Oh, really? Yeah, I guess we'll do. I think we'll go over that category right now. Again, I didn't play it, so I don't really know. But let's see here. But yeah, Game of the Year, which I already went over. Chad, Plague Tale Requiem, which I haven't played. I can't speak on it. Elden Ring, which I have. Great game. God of War Ragnarok. Great game. At least what I played. Resident Evil West. That is the one where I'm like, I wouldn't nominate it. But I know a lot of people liked it, but I did not. I was disappointed. Stray, I would nominate. Xenoblade Chronicles, I've not played. Best Game Direction. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, Stray. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction design. Oh, man. I wouldn't nominate Horizon Forbidden West. I can't speak on Immortality. I did not play that, but Elden Ring, God of War, Stray. I think those are well-deserved. Best Narrative. Plague Tale Welcome. I can't speak on it. Elden Ring. I don't think I'd nominate Elden Ring for this guy. This is controversial. Listen, Elden Ring, I feel like has great combat, great exploration. I think the world design is really unique. But the story, the lore is tertiary, Chad. Not even secondary, it's tertiary. And there has lore. It's there. And there's some fun stuff. But it is not at the forefront. I would not even nominate it. And that might be really controversial. But yeah, I don't think I'd nominate it for this category at all. That's weird. God of War Ragnarok, absolutely so far. I mean, the story's been great. Rising from the West, I didn't complete it. I honestly, no, I wouldn't, because I think the story's obtuse and exposition heavy, and I think it's focusing on the wrong things. So I wouldn't nominate that either. Immortality, didn't play it. I had to think about that. I really had to think about, man, what else would I nominate? The one that I would give the award to is God of War Ragnarok. I would be shocked. I mean, if Elden Ring wins that, I'd be like, all right, listen, come on. I just don't think it deserves that. I don't think it deserves to be nominated, chap. I mean, Elden Ring, I could probably possibly give that my game of the year right now, and for a variety of categories, which I'll happily do so. But that is the one I'm like, I don't think so. Let's see here. What's you guys saying? Mordecai, Sifu isn't a fighting game is the problem. It's an action game category for a genre. It's not in. Sifu is an amazing game, but it's not fighting. Gotcha. Best art direction for outstanding creative and technical achievement in artistic design, animation, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, score, and everything looks like a penis and a vagina in that game. And Stray. I mean, in terms of just the look, I mean, yeah, I didn't play Scorn. I've seen Scorn. It's fucking horrifying looking. But in Horizon Forbidden West is beautiful aesthetically. So I'm not opposed to any of the nominees in this. The only one I've not played is Scorn, but what I've seen, it's like, yeah, it's definitely unique, at least, among a lot of video games, so that's fair. Best score in music, we just talked about this. I've only heard the scores for Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, which are great. I haven't heard for the other three categories of A Plague Tale, Metal, Hellsinger. Didn't even heard of it. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And we get in more kind of like technical. Now, best performance. This is interesting. I still say this should be Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, or Best Supporting Actress and shit. But worked individual for voice acting, motion, and or capture performance. Ashley Burch, Horizon Forbidden West. Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale. I haven't played it. Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok. Main Engager, Mortality. I haven't played it. Sonny, I feel like, for me, it's between Christopher Judge and Sonny Soljic who are competing against each other. I can go to either of them. Go with either of them, chap. You got best ongoing game. I think Final Fantasy 14 will probably take that. I think it'll take that. Well, Fortnite, I recently jumped back into Fortnite this year, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. Best indie, we got Call of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. Well, the ones I played, which I played Tunic, I like Tunic, but I would probably give it to Stray. I haven't played all these categories, though. Yes. Then we get into the more, this is interesting. Best action game, Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I haven't played any of these. I can't nominate. I can't pick. I wouldn't be able to do it. Action adventure, Plague Tale, Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon, Stray, Tunic. So I feel like Elden. Oh man, oh god. I would give it to God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. Best role playing game, Elden Ring. There it is. I give it to Elden Ring. There you go. I was like, I'm not going to bother reading the other category. I'm not going to bother reading the other ones. Elden Ring. Best fighting. So this is the big controversial one, huh? DNF Duel. I don't know what that is. King of Fighters, Multiverses, Sifu. On JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle. I don't know. I can't speak on that. Best family. Can't speak on this either. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego, Star Wars, Mario Rabbids Spark. I want to play that one. Nintendo Switch Sports, Splatoon 3. Best strategy. I gotta get more strategy games, Chad. Dune Spice Wars. That came out? That was out? That's out now? I didn't know that. Mario Rabbids, Total War, Warhammer, 2 Points Campus. I can't speak on this. Sports, I don't give a fuck. Best multiplayer. I didn't play any of these. I don't know. Content Creator of the Year. I don't know any of these people. I don't know who they are. Best adaptation. Arcane League of Legends. There you go. That's it. It's Arcane. They also nominate Cyberpunk Edge Runner, which I liked. I did not like it as much as other people did. I liked it. But I thought I thought I had some issues. Yeah, people weren't bringing up. But I enjoyed it. I give it a matinee. It's like, it's a fun matinee. But a lot of people are like, this is, I mean, I guess technically is one of the best video game adaptations of all time. It does continue Netflix's track record with great animated adaptations of video games. Certainly does that. I don't think it reaches Arcane or Castlevania heights, but I liked it. The Cuphead show. The Cuphead Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Uncharted's the one's like, all right, get out of here. Get that fucking thing out of here. Absolutely not. It's one of the worst movies this year. But Arcane's the winner. Most anticipated, which I think is a very weird award. I don't understand this. Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, Legend of Zelda, Tears. They could probably give it to Zelda because they always do. They always fucking do. Esports, I don't give a shit. Ah, shit, all the esports. But yeah, there you go, Chad. Boop. Listen, young quick. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't give a shit that Kanye West has more money than me. Of course he has more money than me. The guy's a fucking billionaire. Actually, not anymore. He's not. But listen, if you're literally making, as he has done, multiple racist, anti-Semitic, just in general stupid comments, I can absolutely judge him for that. Anyone can judge him for that in criticism. Just because he's richer than me, just because he has more expensive clothes and cars and watches and jewelry, does not mean that he is free from fucking criticism. I will criticize the hell out of him for fucking ever. I don't give a shit. That is such a stupid statement to make that, well, I don't criticize someone because they make more money. Like, what is that? That is nonsensical. So I can't criticize Donald Trump when I disagree with his incredibly narcissistic and despicable behavior and policies or anyone else. It's like, come on, you know better. You know better. Give me a fucking, it is so stupid to say that you shouldn't criticize someone because they make more money than you. That's ridiculous. Get out of here with that. Come on. You should know better. Have some fucking common sense. Anyway. Viper Fox. Always drop it at the best. Indeed. Yeah. And I'll tell you this too, young. Don't be going after, do not be going after my chat right now with your stupid fucking comments. For the love of God. All right? Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, I was just seeing some stuff back and forth. Oh, I can't criticize. He makes more money. Oh, get over yourself. God, just dumb. Just so fucking dumb. I think I get a drink. Caitlin McG, heart, hands. Can we get some Mr. Revenues, Mr. Reven hypes for Caitlin McG and anyone who is just arguing with that fucking moron, young quick right now. Oh my Lord, Chad. I'm going to go get a goddamn drink. I will be right back, and we're going to continue on with some additional questions. From Derek Floyd. Derek Floyd, who was in the chat as Dericles. I will be right back. Stick around, chat. I shall return. Wine Daddy's back. Wine Daddy's back. Oh, my Lordy. All right, my friends. So good to have you here. Cheers and salute. Welcome. Jabronis, Chris Harris. Kevin McGee's right. We a jabroni. Just dealing with jabronis. But hey, we got a great question from Dericles chat. Also known as Derek Floyd. Hi, Chris. I'm Dericles in the chat. I have 2 questions for you. Now, these were submitted. No problem at all. Late, but that's fine. You can submit questions at any point, anytime. So I didn't prep for these questions. I didn't prep for these questions, but it's okay. I feel like I can answer these pretty effectively. DC and Marvel have been introducing huge retcons in their comics canon in the last few years. If given the chance, what sort of large retcon would you like to introduce at either company? Okay, so there's 2 big ones. Number 1, I would just get rid of that retcon that they did years ago of erasing Spider-Man's marriage. Like, one of the things that, I mean, it was multifaceted, what led to the events of Spider-Man's marriage to Mary Jane Watson being erased. Again, that was because, oh God, what's his name? Shit. It's been so long, I forgot some. The head of Marvel Comics at the time hated the idea of Spider-Man being married and moving on in his life and having a family. God, what was his? No, Derek, please, no apologies whatsoever. It's not your fault. Not your fault at all. I'm just going off the cuff. But oh God, what was Quesada? That was the guy. Joe Quesada, that was him. Joe Quesada hated the idea of Peter Parker Spider-Man being married to Mary Jane Watson. He always liked the idea of him being single, being fucking miserable, always being miserable, not being a family man. And, you know, one of the things that eventually happened, well, it was again, it's multifaceted. What happened was Peter revealed his secret identity during the events of Civil War, which is fucking stupid for Iron Man. So again, Civil War in the comics, now Captain America Civil War is fantastic because the only thing that Captain America Civil War took from the original comic book was the name Civil War. Everything else about it is different. Everything else about it is so different, Chad, for good reason. Because that led to like a really bad period in Marvel Comics, in my opinion. It was a very popular one. People were buying Marvel Comics. It was on all the shows. People were going, Civil War, Captain America, Iron Man fighting. God, everyone loved that shit. But in hindsight, it was pretty fucking bad. Apparently Civil War 2, but they did another one. I never read it, but I heard that's pretty bad. Any case, Peter revealed his secret identity, which led to horrible things. Eventually he was like, I realize Iron Man's kind of a dick, and I don't want to be on his side anymore. And this put himself, his family in danger. This leads to Aunt May getting assassinated by the Kingpin. And in order to save Aunt May, who is literally 105 years old, Peter makes a deal, and Mary Jane and Peter Parker make a deal with the devil. With Satan, who says, I will save your 112 Aunt May, who is literally on death's door every time she wakes up in the morning, every time she waddles out to the bathroom and waddles in the kitchen to make you hot cakes. But I will save her if you give me your marriage. And there's literally a panel where he goes, your marriage. And Peter and MJ are like, well, we need to save this 127-year-old woman. Let's sacrifice our marriage and erase years of history of it. And that's what they do. And it sucks. And it's just because Joe Quesada and a lot of people were like, we don't like Spider-Man moving on in his life and becoming a family man and a husband and a father. Let's just keep him where he's a 35 at this point. I guess, I don't know how old he is now. In the history of comics, like if you look at like how much time has passed is weird. I always get the sense that Peter's now in his mid-30s at this point in his life in the comics. You know, went from a teenager, 16, 15, and it's been, you know, I guess 20 years. I don't know. That's what I always have gotten the sense of. It's been 20 years and he's 35 or he's in his mid to late 30s. I don't know. But now, at least when I remember this, he's a 35-year-old fucking loser schlub. and I hate that. It's like, let him be happy. That's why I really like, this is on none other side, that's why I really like the Tom Holland films, the trilogy, because just people are so mad. It's like, because you had all these fucking weirdos out there. It's like, Spider-Man needs to be miserable always. And I'm like, he doesn't always need to be miserable, okay? We got a bunch of movies where he was fucking miserable, all right? Where he was a schlub. Even though he's a fucking super genius, he's delivering fucking pizzas, sure, okay. He was a schlub, all right? You had like 5 movies of that. Let's have him where he's actually happy to be a teenager and he's thinking about talking to this girl he wants to talk to. He wants to build a Lego Death Star and he's in the Avengers and he's like, whoa, I think that was kind of cool. And I was like, but now we're going to get miserable schlub Spider-Man. Believe me, and I feel like that's good. It's necessary because I got my happy trilogy for the most part. I got my films where it's like he seems, you know, he's growing, he's learning and things like that, but he's also really... He's you know, he's been getting a lot of mentorship from people. Maybe he shouldn't be mentoring him, but it was different. And now he's going to be sad, schlubby Peter Parker, right? But the comics, for so long, they just want to keep him that way. I'm like, guys, please, we need to move on. And I like the idea of him being a husband. And I know people refuse to have these heroes. It's up to, there's exceptions to the rule, but to have them have families, it's like, let's fucking do that. Let's introduce May Parker. And famously, they did that in the 90s, and they fucking literally killed her inside Mary Jane's womb because Norman Osborn and poisoned her when she was pregnant. I was like, stop it. And I don't even know if they're together anymore. I don't even know if are Peter and MJ back? Because if they are, then it's like, well, what the fuck was the point of all that? What was the point of all that bullshit other than to, drive up sales? I mean, that's what it always is. It's a marketing ploy for the most part, but it's also this, thing in the background. It's like, we have to keep the heroes the same they've always been. It's like, no, they don't have to be that way. For the love of God, it's one of the things that's been choking the goddamn industry, is that you don't fucking move forward. And so it's really annoying. I hate it. I hate that. It's that's the thing that I just haven't read. Like, I'll occasionally dip my toes back in and check out like an individual issue that's like, there's this one Spider-Man story recently that I've read in the last year or so, because I want to do comic reviews, or I want to talk about, I want to review them. And there's this one where he's stuck in a subway that's buried underneath the ground because of a battle of Shocker, and Shocker's even injured, and he's trying to help these people escape the subway, but it's flooding and it's crushing everywhere. It's really good. And it's like this one-off story that's not really connected to the grander scheme of things, but I was like, oh, that's so awesome. But I fucking hate one more day, brand new day. It's like, it's bullshit, Chad. It's bullshit. I can read what you guys are saying. This is ridiculous. It is. The devil's left us in the devil left us a I hate marriage. Yeah, Spider-Man would totally make a deal with Mephisto to let Aunt May live 135 years at the cost of Mary Jane, the hottest woman ever. It's like, it's nonsensical. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It is. Remember when Norman Osborn, Bane? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I remember that. That's going. That one I would like to eliminate completely. Bane and Gwen Stacy in Europe and having kids that grow up. They're like, even though biologically they're 5 years old, they all look like they're in their 40s. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Schlub is a great word. It's one of my favorite words to use. Aunt May, the 200-plus-year-old woman. Yep. Peter, you need to make a deal with the devil, Peter, so I can keep on living. Who's gonna make you all those hotcakes, Peter? Not that fucking bitch, Mary Jane. Let Spider-Man be happy and forth. Let's let Spider-Man be happy and like middle class. How about that? Listen, I'm not saying he has to be rich, but let's have him be like middle class. He owns a fucking house in the suburbs. He has a couple of kids. Can we settle with that? Yeah, he struggles to make ends meet, but for the most part, he's stable. It's like, yeah, they'll probably have to take out, college loans for the kids, but he's stable. How about that? I'm not saying he has to be like Iron Man wealthy, but come on. Mayday, yeah, Mayday was great. They did like a 100-issue series of What If May Parker Lived. Spider-Girl, it was really good. These nowadays, Peter and Felicia are potentially getting together. Oh, Jesus, is Mary Jane's marriage? She's married? Oh, my God, to someone else? Okay. Okay, sure. We're in a day and age where fans just don't want their characters to have story. They don't. They want to stay the same. Always, and they just don't fucking care. The discussion has been very good. It's a good discussion. I'm getting hot. Mephisto. No more women's. Did Green Goblin steal Spider-Man baby and hide in all the maybe. I don't know. Did that happen? I wouldn't be surprised. Norman's always doing shit like that. Norman, you're supposed to be dead. Norman should have been dead. I'll tell you right now, the fact that they brought Norman back, he's like, it was me, Peter. It was me. I paid the jackal to clone your parents. Like, what? Oh, the clone saga chat. Norman should be dead. Okay? The fact you brought Norman Osborn back never made any goddamn sense. The goblins are gone. Okay? The Green Goblin is gone. Harry died. Norman died. Now fucking Harry's back for whatever reason. I don't understand. I don't get it. Honestly, no, Aunt May should have died. She should have died years ago. They're fucking killing her off and everything else. They're killing her off. Spoilers, chat. Killing her off in No Way Home, and it meant something. I was like, holy shit, there's a cost. That death meant something. In the Spider-Man 2018 video game, her death meant something. I was like, wow. You know what? You can let her go. Anyway. According to Zeb Wells, the current writer, MJ and Parker ain't together. Of course. I like the Ultimate Spider. There's some good ones. Ultimate Spider has some good stories. Genki appeared. That's right. He should have not taken the deal, then finds out he's being tortured in hell. Oh my God, it's the big rule. You've been in hell the whole time, Peter. So that one should have been something more interesting, like make a deal with bring Uncle Ben. Oh, that'd be interesting. But still, at the end of the day, the fact that Peter Parker would go like, yeah, I'll make a deal with the devil. Yeah, this will work out. It's like, what are you doing, Peter? What? Oh. What about Harry Osborn? What he's been doing? Oh, he's back. He's just back. He's just alive. Why? Because we want him to be. I'm going to write a story where Peter hits the Powerball and starts dating around it. Do it. Fucking do it. Clones. Clones, never good. Never good. Yeah. Yeah, another one. In the comics, Dick Grayson became Batman for a while because Bruce Wayne died. I would have kept Bruce dead. I would have killed him. I know he died in Final Crisis. Anytime the fucking DC does a crisis event, it's like, oh, here we go. It's all fucking nonsense and bullshit. But, you know, it's like he should have been dead. And when Dick Grayson took on the mantle, you got some really good Batman stories, particularly from Scott Snyder, who did Gates of Gotham, who did Batman the Black Mirror, some really good stories. And Dick Grayson was he was a different Batman. He was a different Batman than Bruce, but I like that he was a little different, you know? Because it felt like, oh, we're kind of moving on. I'm not saying you can ever do another Batman Bruce Wayne story. Of course you can. You can do miniseries, do soul stories, but you're like, yeah, keep fucking Dick Grayson as Batman. That was really good. It was working. It was working. And they're like, nope. No, we got a movie coming back. We got to have Bruce Wayne's Batman. And I was like, all right. So I would have kept him dead. I would have kept Bruce Wayne dead. Because they're at least doing something. Or another thing, and they made a big deal of this. Marriages, the people are fucking terrified of marriage in comic books. One of those other big events that they were going to plan on doing with Batman was Catwoman and Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne were probably going to get married. I was like, you know what? That's good. They had built up this relationship even more so, and they've always in the comics they've always built it up, and then they take it away for some reason. And like in Hush is the most infamous. I don't like Hush. I'm telling you right now, Hush is a bad story. Hush is so fucking overrated. So overrated. And people go like, but Tommy Elliott, like I don't give a fuck about Tommy Elliott. But one of the interesting aspects of that book was Catwoman and Batman's relationship. And they were like, you know what, let's try to make this work. And then at the end they're like, nah, we're not going to do it. And it's like, what the fuck? And then recently they started doing that again. And I don't know, maybe they changed their minds again. Maybe they're married now. But there was this whole thing where they were going to get married. There was this excellent issue. There's an excellent comic book. And it was like a single issue thing, but it was connected to the larger, I don't know, DC, whatever. And it was when Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle went on a double date with Clark Kent and Lois. And it was great. And it brought out the best aspects of each character. And it was so wholesome and so cute. And they were bonding. And Bruce and Clark were never closer. Were so close. And Selina and Lois got along with each other. And they became friends. I was like, this right here is really good. And I felt like, I don't know. I felt like they called off the wedding or something. I don't know. But it was like, no, have them get married. Just do it. Just fucking embrace it. Why not? You know? But they're always afraid. They're always afraid to push the characters forward and put them in these kind of relationships. So, answer your question. We never had Spider-Man make a deal with the literal devil to erase his marriage to save his 152-year-old Aunt May. I wouldn't have had Bruce come back to be Batman. I would have had Dick Grayson be Batman from this point on. And, you know, I know, well, he came back, but I would have also had Batman and Kyle get married. Yes. That's what I would have done. There's so many examples of retcons in comics that don't work, or retcons that I would make, or canceling. I guess my whole thing is canceling out certain retcons. Yeah. You know the story I'm talking about, Casey? I love that story. They had Fantastic Camera Machine. It showed that Bruce and Selina could settle down. They could have a life. They showed it. And it's a little weird, of course, but it could work. It could work. Yeah. Like, they did marry Storm. And you know what happened? You know what? And now they're divorced. Because you know why? Because they can't keep these fucking heroes married. They can't do it. And they got divorced. And the reason why? It didn't work out. Because the readers don't like when they're married. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it yet. The right Snyder, indeed. Why is Harry alive? Because I said so, pretty much. Peter's literally the devil Lucifer, the king of lies. He didn't think that would bite him in the ass. He just, yeah. Peter does make dumb decisions, though. But still, it's like, god damn. Oh, yeah, Avengers vs. X-Men was very bad. Was very, very bad. They'll do that in the movies, but hopefully, the chat, there's going to be I will say, we are eventually going to get an Avengers vs. X-Men film. That will happen in the MCU. There's no doubt about it. But no marriage to the women's. However, it'll leave some time, but we will get that. And the thing is, they'll just borrow the title, but it'll be nothing like the original comic book, which sucks. Much in the same way as Civil War. So we'll see. We'll see. Next question. I hate Hope Estem. He's a character from Final Fantasy 13. He's been most of the game blaming other party members for the death of his mother. Yeah, his mother died a hero's death, trying to protect him in the game. He's idiotic and a waste of a party soul. What video game characters make you my blood boil, if any? Ooh, that's a really good question. For a long time, it was Kratos. Because in those original video games, those original God of War games, he was an asshole. He was just an asshole to be an asshole. It's like, okay, you were tricked by a god, and you murdered your wife and child, but the lengths at which he goes to just not only to seek revenge, but the cost of innocence is just like, God damn it. He's always screaming all the time, and I hated that. I hate it. It's like, that's all he was. I really dislike those games. I'm like, the gameplay, I wasn't a fan of the gameplay. A lot of people love it, the hack and slash, and there's some exceptions. There's a hack and slash that I do enjoy, but man, I did not care for it. So Kratos for a long time, until God of War 2018, and yes, in retrospect, bringing in the history of those games, it adds to the narrative of 2018 and now Ragnarok, and he's now one of my favorite video game characters of all time, which is hilarious. But originally Kratos, so I was like, fuck this guy. Another character that makes my blood boil. Oh man. I guess in context, if you romance Jacob in Mass Effect 2, man, what they do, and it's not even that, it's the writing for him. It's the writing for the character. Because the Jacob's fine. He's an okay character in Mass Effect 2. He's not the squad mate you're going to be taking on all your missions. But if you romance him as Femshep in that game, you're incapable of continuing on that romance in Mass Effect 3, because even though you might love him, your Femshep might love him, you will find out that in the 6 months in between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, when your Shepard is under house arrest, Jacob has been cheating on you for that entire time and has fallen in love with another woman and has also gotten her pregnant in that time. And your Shepard is like, well, easy come, easy go. originally. And now in the DLC, because fans were so outraged by that, as they should be, I was like, why would you do that? I was like, whoa. I mean, I never romanced him as my Femshep. I was always after my bird lizard boy Garrus, chat. Hell yeah, I love my bird lizard boy. But for people that romanced him, it was like, that meant nothing. And in the DLC, they did a DLC later on because the fan reaction was so negative, and rightfully so. They did bad by that actor too. That was really shitty what they did with him. But in the DLC Citadel, when you go and visit him, if you romanced him, you can slap the shit out of him for cheating on you, as you should. So yeah, in that context, I'd be like, fuck this guy. Oh god, another video game character, Ashley. Ashley is annoying, obnoxious, shitty, weird. She's objectified, she's sexualized. She's annoying, just a terrible character in video games. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with her in the new one. I hope they make a lot of changes. They should. They should, Jim. Man, there's so many others. Oh, Solus from Dragon Age. Solus is a piece of shit, especially if you're a romance. If he's an asshole, he's pretty bad. This is Quizort. We'll play some Quizort later this evening, Naya. We'll be finishing up the classic last game. We'll be playing some Superior in just a bit. But good to have you here, Naya. What about you guys? Are there any other Sonic? Oh god, of course. Sonic is the worst. No, I don't even hate the Sonic character. It's more the gameplay. It's more just, I think Sonic is like, hey, I'm too cool for school. He's like that kind of thing. He's very 90s-esque character. And that's fine. I don't really hate him so much as I just hate the game. I just hate the gameplay. I think it's flawed at a fundamental level. It's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand how people like this. It's just for me, both the 2D and the 3D games. Like this, I don't feel like I'm in control of the character. I can't tell what's happening half the time. So not so much Sonic himself. It's just more the gameplay of Sonic. I know I make fun of Sonic all the time because he deserves it, but it's more the gameplay, I would say. Just the Navi. Oh, Navi. Hey, listen. Yes. Navi is annoying. I agree. Emily from Until Dawn. You're right. Like, oh my God. Fucking save me. Yeah, Emily from Until Dawn is up there. Yeah, I don't hate Abby. Abby's one of the another one. That game is one of Sony's most contentious. And it's contentious. It's it's divisive, but I don't hate Abby. I don't. I actually like the character quite a bit. I've talked about maybe the big thing with people hate Abby for is Joel. The other thing people didn't like the fact that she's swole, even though it makes sense that would be. She's like a fucking warrior. And she's made herself that way. She's like, I'm going to make myself a fucking instrument of death so I can kill this one guy, you know? And the other thing that a lot of people hated her for was the thing that wasn't even true to begin with. It was just propagated by all these content creators. But in any case, Ashley Williams, I could see a lot of people hating it. Ashley Williams is a fucking space racist. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. That's true. I could see Ashley. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate the main guy in my hero. I'm not feeling with that. If someone's played Skyrim and still continues to play Skyrim, I still can't stand Delphine. She just feels so out of place for the whole game. John Cusack's Midwestern American's voice sticks out like a sore thumb, and she tells you to kill Parthenax, the best character in the game. Oh, yeah, Parthenax. It's 8 a.m., Christopher. It's not. It's only 11:57 p.m. Oh, Mornith. Yeah, Mornith gets fucked up. Blackstone, green salutations. You hope you're doing well. Pleasure to have you here. Mika is an obvious answer. Mika in what? What game is she in? Mika. Micah? Oh, another character I hate. In Walking Dead. Who's that Ben? Remember fucking useless Ben in Walking Dead season 1? Oh my God. Like there's this one, well, I don't want to spoil it because I think you have some people who are playing the game. I think Cristiano, are you still playing the game? Are you finished with Walking Dead season 1? Let's see here. Let's sing. Chris just hates Sonic fans. My nose hurts. It's your fault, bitch. No, why does your nose hurt? What are you even talking about? I'm talking about video games. His name is One Pump Owen. Oh, Mika from Red Dead. Oh yeah. He was a bitch. He was a son of a bitch. Let's see here. Ben's classmates appear in every game. They do? You got to re-pierce? What? Telltale. I'm still playing. I have one more episode left. Okay. Well, so you have episode 5 left? You have episode 5 left? So have you already played episode 4? Is he the boat guy? Ben is the teenager who follows you, who makes a ton of dumb decisions and constantly endangers Clementine. Yes? Okay. So you've already completed episode 4. So there is a moment, there's a possibility, there's a permutation in episode 4 where Ben can be grabbed by this one zombie attached to this bell in this bell tower. And every time that happens, I never help him. I'm like, fuck you. And I just let him fall. I'm like, fuck you. You've endangered everyone multiple times. You've endangered Clementine. Fuck you. You're a detriment to the group. And Kenny's always like, you did a good job, Lee. And I think like Kristen, who was the other kid? Omid. And Christian's like, how could you do that? I'm like, fuck him. You saved him? I never save him. I was like, I'm going to let this man die. I don't even go to reach for him. I just let the zombies take him, and he falls to the goddamn ground. He dies. Boom, he hits that ground. He's still alive when he hits the ground, too. He's like, oh, and they just eat him. Her name is Krista. I forgot. It's been a long time since I played it. I was in the ballpark, Kristen, whatever. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Where's Chris? We don't know. Well, I don't want to say too much. Because Cristiano has played all the games. But it's great. That last episode is great. Cristiano is very, very good. Kenny is boat guy. Kenny, oh, God. If anyone hates Kenny, I understand. Like, Kenny makes a lot of bad decisions, and there's a lot of interesting things with him. I don't want to say too much because I know some people haven't played the games. But Kenny's like a sick dog that needs to be put down constantly. That's what he is. He's a rabid dog. That's what I'll describe him as. It's like sometimes he makes the right decisions. Sometimes he's like, this guy's just so broken. There's no hope for him. I love Kenny. Then watching Joe replay was a little cringe with the not so subtle racism. Okay, there is a scene in episode 2. I forgot about that, where they're trying. It's Lee, who is a black man. You play as a black man in the game, who is trying to get into this this room in this barn, and there's lock you have to pick. And Kenny's like, well, Lee, pick the lock. And he's like, I don't know how to pick a lock. He's like, well, sure you do. You're urban. And he's like, what? And he's like, I don't know. I'm from Florida. And I'm like, well, that's true. At least he says it. He's just like, I'm from Florida, Lee. I don't know. And I just thought that was such a fucking, that was a great scene. That was a great scene, but he was honest. Like, I'm from Florida. I'm racist as fuck, man. I know what to tell you. Oh my God. But yeah, it's great. It's great. Outside the racism, it's great. But great questions. Derek Floyd, also known as Dericles in the chat. Dericles, feel free to give yourself a shout out. We inspired some great conversations. Really do appreciate that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you both to Vanny and for Dericles. Derek Floyd, for being subscribers to my Patreon. Thank you so much. Again, chat, you can submit questions if you're at the $15 tier level or higher. Very nice.